In some quiet boys. Who were the quiet ones in the squad?
I don't know.
Stevie Walford was quite quiet.
Stevie, Wally.
Alan
Wally used to smoke in the days, and used to, wherever we went, me and Wally used to go out for a fag. So Wally was all right. He was my mate. We used to
Do you see yourself as a footballing role model here,
yes,
Frank? You
yes,
used to smoke, you used to drink, you used to go clubbing.
I know. Yeah. I shouldn't have been a footballer, actually. It was just by luck. No, it was one of the situations. It was, you just have to do it. And Wally he's got such a dry sense of humour.
Yeah.
He was quiet, but when he came out with something, God, it was everyone knew about it and laughed about it for weeks.
He was a funny guy.
He was a funny guy.
He
wasn't that quiet.
He's coached to Martin O'Neill at Aston Villa and doing a great job. And him and John Robinson.
Yeah, they've been with him for years.
You could see he knew his football. Wally, he could play centre back, he could play left back. And he was an excellent foil for Alan Devonshire, who was just in front of him. Good player. He
would never look after Dev right enough. He'd go, oh, no,
that's right.
He'd go, no, I don't want to do that tackling. But,
So, we're at the last Saturday of the season. You've beaten West Brom. When did you first realise that actually Liverpool had won at Chelsea? Was it
pretty much straight after the game? John come and said, as we come in, and he said, well played, lads, really well done. He says, but bad news, I've got to tell you that Liverpool have actually won at Chelsea, 1-0.
I've never seen so many grown men cry. Everyone just broke down.
And, you've lost it. So
the whole season sort of collapsed then, didn't it? It was, and it was, I don't know, I know it's wrong, but I didn't want to play on Monday.
Well,
myself and Alvin were going to World Cup, and Alvin said he didn't want to play. And
this is to finish second as well against Everton.
Yeah. But
going into that West Brom game, did you genuinely believe you could still win the title and make a bit of history?
I thought Chelsea would have got a draw at least.
That was a difficult game for Liverpool, I thought
Chelsea would have got a draw.
But I remember getting to up the Goodison Park, and Howard Kendall was there to greet us when we all come in, and congratulating us in the, as we were going into our dressing room, on a great season and all that. Whatever happened tonight, that doesn't really matter. We pushed them all the way, and Howard Kendall was a proper fella, a real proper fella.
It was just all blood to me because Monday night was just. I just didn't want to be there.
You probably just got in on the Sunday. That's why.
Was it a normal Saturday? Normal Saturday night to you then?
It was. I mean, Gary Links beat me with a couple of goals, and he scored.
Oh yeah, because you were after the golden boot thing.
I didn't even come into my head. It was just. I really thought we were going to win the league.
I mean, it's interesting when you say, tears in the dressing room after and the sunshine. But, when you think back to what had happened pre-season at Leyton Orient that you were talking about earlier on, really, you should have been patting yourselves on the back, shouldn't you, for the achievement of what you've done that season.
Yeah, and you kind of took it for granted as well, didn't you? You thought it'd probably happen the next season or whatever. But what I must say though, Jeff, it was such fun in a running. You know what I mean? When there's pressure, I saw the pressure with Blackburn in a running as well, and it was different. But ours was fun. Yeah, we played a different style of football, and it really was like what the fans expected, I think, and they always expect it now. The history of the club is such that. They have to play good football. The fans want to see entertainment, and we entertained them that year. We entertained ourselves more. As you said, there was a great camaraderie between the lads. We used to go out regular, didn't we? Fantastic nights out, all have a laugh, And then I know John would give Frank a little bit of a licence, but that's what John was like. He knew how to get the best out of his players and to. Right, not pull him up soppy, like you got to be in bed at 9 o'clock.
He done one thing with me, and it just sums John up. I was out just after his first Scotland game, and I didn't make it. I phoned up. When you phone up, you want Rob Jenkins or something to answer the phone.
The physio,
say I'm not well or something, and it was John that answered the phone. So I put this voice, John, he's going, what's the matter? I said, no, I'm not well. You don't sound too clever. I says, I'll just take a day off. No problem. He says, but you've got ITV and BBC cameras here for an interview. And I said, I forgot all about it. And I says, John, can you deal with it? He says, no problem, son, I'll deal with it. So I've got bodies lying all over my house. And anyway, I went back to bed. 20 minutes later, there's a knock on the door, and Johnny sent the cameras up to the house. So you can imagine, I'm clearing the room, getting out of the room, and everyone's staggering into the bedroom. And I had to sit there and do 2 interviews. And kid on, I was just, it was all in the headlines. I'm not going to make the World Cup squad and all that kind of stuff. I had too much drink the night before. That was it. But that was John. I thanked him for it. He says, well, you asked me to deal with it. So
Well, we should talk about John Lyall, shouldn't we, before we move on, really. Obviously, Phil, you spent a lot of time with him. He's always, recalled as Gentleman John. What was he like? Did he have a tough side? Did he have an edge to him?
He had a very, very tough side to him, yeah. You didn't want to cross him, you didn't want to be on there. But he did it in a nice way. I'm always remember, if he, like Tony says, he wanted to if he got a bollocking off John, you'd go into the office and he'd sit you down and he'd start talking to you and he'd do this and he'd say this and blah, blah. And then he'd do it in a way, and then you'd come out of the office and you think, I've just had a bollocking. Yeah. But it was not like the Fergie, the hairdryer syndrome, where you come out there and thinking, God, what's shell shocked. He did it in such a nice way, but he still got his message across.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, to me, he was the best manager I've ever played with, and he was the reason that I did go to West Ham in the first place.
Well, he'd done everything at the club, hadn't he, as well over there? I think you've been read at one stage. You've been a wages clerk, there.
He'd come from right at the bottom and he'd gone right to the top, and apparently he was a decent player, a decent fullback himself, but had to cut short his career through injury. But he knew the game inside out. But he had the perfect mentor in Ron Greenwood. And still today, Jeff, like in the guys that I, with the commentary roles and going to different training grounds, you see different training stints going on, and they've originated from Ron Greenwood and John Lyall. I mean, there's only a certain amount of things you can do in coaching, but these blokes were the originators of a lot of the coaching sessions that go on now. And it was never dull, Frank, was it?
No,
coaching sessions, never dull.
I mean, all that swinging the ball in, everyone takes corners and they give it the wrong way, and John had them swinging into goalkeeper, so if a defender got a knock on it, was a goal. I mean, it was so hard to defend against. And to buy me to play in behind the strikers, well, now it's a formation now, isn't it? But John done that years ago, and it was all, 25 years ago John done that. He was so far ahead of his time.
If things had turned out differently and you'd actually won the title there, would that have been a life-changing season in a sense? Because I mean, you'd have been, superstars, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's one of these situations. Who knows what would have happened? But we were definitely. I mean, I remember speaking to Kenny Douglas, and he was saying that we should have won the league. We had a bad start, and that's what cost us the league, really. But football terms, I think we matched Liverpool in every department when it came to football. And I remember playing in Liverpool. My first game against Liverpool we drew 2 each, and I scored the 2. And it was like, and all the boys, I'm thinking, we're winning. There's only a couple of minutes, but they just kept passing the ball to position what Liverpool's done for years and years, and they wear you down, don't they?
Yeah,
they wear you down, and they got the equaliser, and it was like.
But we didn't. The important thing is we didn't choke. We had a great run at the end of the season with a lot of games. Like Frank said, like Phil said, we lost it at the start, Jeff. Yeah. And a lot of people were pointing to the backlog of fixtures, but we got through that on adrenaline and we got our results and we didn't choke, which we could all be proud of now. Yeah. But Liverpool, 10 out of 11 games, as you said, that's an incredible run, isn't it? And you have to hold your hands up. They were an incredible side.
They were a good team.
What about the effect on the club? Because by now, Phil, I think by the end of the season, you're being watched by 30,000 instead of 15,000. Was there a feeling at the club that this was a breakthrough and now you were going to go on from here?
We all felt that. We all actually come back at the start of the following season, in pre-season training, really looking forward to that next season. We thought that because we'd done well, the club had obviously got some money in from the crowds. The crowds, had, as you said, from the start, had doubled from the start of the season. It was tough times, but people were finding it hard. The previous season we hadn't entertained the crowd at all, and they weren't happy. But at the end of it, we thought, well, John's going to go out. He's going to have money to spend. He's going to go out, and we think he'll go out and get 2 or 3 other players now, strengthen the squad, and then we can really have a go again. And it never happened, did he? No. I mean, he never bought the players that we thought that he might go out to get. Mm-hmm. And then the following season...
Was that down to him, do you think, or was that a board decision?
I think it probably more so, maybe a little bit of a little bit of both, but certainly probably more so on the board side, because they were very cautious, weren't they? And wouldn't give him the money that really he deserved to spend on the side. And then I think if they'd have done that, then we could have carried on and built on that season. But basically it fell apart. We had a lot of injuries, like Tony said earlier, that started to cost us, and we never really fielded the same side twice. I mean, it'd be all with 2 or 3 changes, and you can never get a rhythm going, not like the previous season.
I mean, look at the staff teams have now. Yeah. We had John Lyall, Ronnie Boyce and Mick McGibbon, 2 coaches. Yeah. John used to map out every coaching session every morning. They used to do it, and then John used to come out like every other day and be coaching as well. So there was him, 2 coaches and a physio.
Yeah.
That was it, and the physio doubled up as the chef on the away journeys,
Well,
serving up
it
the
was
food
the waiter.
on the way back.
The waiter.
The waiter,
Jeff,
yeah.
But the physio couldn't even see him, and Rob couldn't see him. I remember, was it